Okay. Alright, so back to markup.
So let's work on a profit, not a markup. So check off the profit box. This is going to be a profit markup, not a markup. So we want to make 50% profit. We don't want to mark up our cost by 50%. As the calculation is done. Okay. Right. So when you're talking profit, right, you want to make at least 15% on top of whatever the cost was. Right. But when you're talking markup, you just take the cost and multiply by 1.15.
Okay.
Right. So that's the two. I don't know if it's exactly what the calculation is for profit. But yeah. Numbers guys figure it out. So let's just put 15% across the board right now, although I think that may change.
Now, is there an easier way I can just do 15 across that double 1500?
So if you go to the list view, scroll over. Is there anything? No, there's not. Okay, so yeah, so 15 down. Looks like there's something. So 15. We'll go to the DMTs. Generally, we used to not build DMTs for things like this, but with the playlist functionality now, in fact, you can load it all at once. Okay. Because it's easy to come in here and just type in 15 4 times as opposed to load a DMT. Exactly. So we used to not do that, but now with the playlist feature, you can load it all at once, just making the DMT one time. Like that. Okay. All right, save that. Right. So I have a standard markup. Right. So this is not the system default standard markup. So close this. Because it is the system default, you do not have to select the cool markup. Okay. Right. However, if you have a customer that has a special markup that you guys say, hey, you know what? We're going to mark these guys up 16% or 17%, not 15% all the time. Mm-hmm. That's when you create one for them specifically, and then you select it in the cool markup here for the customer on that. So you got more than one. You got more than one. Yeah.
Troublesome clients and preferred clients.
Yeah, HMC customers, high maintenance.
No contact.
Right.
Okay.
So you can put in the phone number and stuff in there if you'd like.
Yes, put that in there.
Probably want to allow a one-time ship to us specifically for your company as well as allow ship to third party. By default, almost you want to allow those things.
Third parties?
It's not allowed third party as well, yeah.
Now, remember, where's the these again?
So check dupe PO is really the one that you care about there. All the rest have to do, except for no contact, has to do with
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the rest have to do with actual global.
Okay.
And intercompany trader has nothing to do with that. Like, you don't need to worry about intercompany trader or anything. Anywhere you see the word global, that has to do with the fact if you have multiple companies, you actually have a global or
actual global.
Right? So you don't have to worry about that. Right. So check dupe PO, yeah, you probably want to check it off as well. That basically just says the customer cannot have two POs with the same number or the same lettering. So you have one order. Every order has to have a new PO number.
Which is good. That way you guarantee you're going to screw up.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Unless you typo the PO number again. There's not an issue, but
well,
yeah. This saves you a lot of hassle. So somebody typos their PO number is, for lack of a better, 1,000.
Yeah.
And then somebody typos 1,001. And then the next guy comes in and it's another PO that happens to be 1,001. That PO number is already used. Yeah, the back of it's the old one.
I thought someone called to say you can't use it.
You can't. So but you type with the first one and then the next one you can't use. The first one's a typo. The secondary one will be a typo, that's fine because you just fix it right away. The first one was a typo, now that's right, but use it right back.
Because once you start the ball, exactly. It's in the middle. You have to go all the way back to the one that you screwed up.
I mean, obviously at that point you just add dash something to the PO.
Yeah, like an A for addendum or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, revise or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there we go. So let's save for now. Let's go to the billing tab. Okay, so here's where we're going to select our currency code for this customer. Note that defaults based on the fact that we set our country of Canada to have Canadian currency. All right. However, if there is, for example, let's say you're working with a company in Mexico, and for whatever reason you have Mexican peso in the system, and that company works solely in U.S. dollars.
Oh.
Right. The country of Mexico has a default of currency of the Mexican peso, but your customers may actually transact in U.S. dollars, in which case you change the currency to U.S. dollars to the customer. Right. In groups, we're going to talk about in a bit. We're not going to add a customer group to these ones yet. On the finance side, are you going to be adding payment method, preferred bank, registration codes, that type of stuff? So is the idea perhaps that whoever's doing the initial entry does the basic amount of work and then finance comes in afterwards? Fill out the rest of the information if it's required. Not necessarily required.
Well, we're talking about
Building terms, term type.
we don't right now. We don't have any special terms for
Anybody?
like, it's all the same.
Always 30.
Yeah, it's always 30. We don't have any special terms. We may have some deals of material or whatever and that kind of billing process. But as far as terms, we don't have any. At this point, it doesn't mean we.
What about this unusual contract participant from the ABC? Isn't there?
We have. That's not part of that. It's still paid in 30 days.
Oh, it's still paid in 30 days.
Wow.
I thought it
Everybody's paid 30 days. Yeah, but no one pays in 30 days.
Everybody's terms are not 30.
Yeah, everybody says the same. I haven't heard anyone say, "Yeah, I'll give you 90 days." And put it right. It just happens that way. Yeah, but we that was a little bit different. That was quirky, yes.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be the terms are the same as everybody else. We just did something that we would normally do.
What about tax information, tax liability, tax IDs, that stuff?
Well, again, of that company, right? I mean, it was always good to have it.
So
The person who's doing it, I mean,
so
it'd be
right
better.
now, I think the person who's actually going to physically do at the end of the day is going to load this screen.
You should
It's going to be silent.
Well, if it is, then it'll be easier. But if you had someone else, you just got to get the tax ID because it's important to know if we ever needed something. It's good to have them in their tax ID. Absolutely.
So if you remember the only your DMT there, that tax ID should be included on that list.
It should be for lots of reasons.
Should be. This is something operations cares about. It's a billing tab, but this is something operations cares about. Right. What's the default should be for this customer? Right now we have it set to pure litter ground, and the reason we have it set to pure litter ground because that was the default should put in whichever country level. Right.
Exactly.
And defaults to the customer will be the customer.
Okay.
Right. Obviously you'll have correct ones, and then you'll have DMT. For ship vias.
I was looking for the connection.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, it's the. See, this is just a computer.
He's doing it right there.
Yeah. So, same with FOB. I'm assuming you guys probably start working with FOB at this point as well. That way, if somebody picks something up here and the load crashes halfway there, you don't get screwed.
Once it goes up, there are some we take that.
FOB would be their plant, the rest would be your plant.
Yeah. So in between, it's our responsibility.
This is only one plant that we have to take responsibility for shipping. The other ones we don't.
That's one.
So, drop that down. Was the Q drive already in there?
Yep.
Okay, drop that down. Right click on that. Just right click on that. Open with FOB entry.
Yeah, and then add it.
So just file new.
Window, file new.
Well, that's my secret. I don't know.
Oh well, yeah. The code can do again whatever you want it to be. It's code system. If you keep going with what we were doing before, you F001.
Whatever. Whatever works.
Right. Description: our plan. Rather than having your exact address, just stating our plant. And this being your address of the plant. Delivery terms. If you have delivery terms, put them in there. I wouldn't put them there right now. If you don't know them. Hit save, and then do one more FOB. Actually, leave it alone. When we do the DMT, we'll do an FOB called your plant.
Okay. I just close that off here.
Makes it really simple for you guys. Just close it off. Yeah. Then drop that down.
Oh,
Select
our
that.
plan or your plan, I get, yeah.
So select FOB. You're right now in your shift.
Oh, right.
Sure.
Yes.
So right click on it, refresh list. rather than having an exact address as to what the FOB is, just say the second it leaves our plan, it's yours. More murky legal ground to stand on. That's on recording. So if we go,
It's private.
if we go to, you can also set a country an exit point if you have one for the country. The things you should go to when they go into this customer. So if they're coming out of a certain port, certain area, you can set that
Okay.
what the country exit is.
Typically for us, the board is Detroit.
Usually what's for you guys. If you even have to set it.
And do you think it's like a set 3, 4,
Right click on it?
We have to. I don't
You usually there's a code for it. Open with user code. Yes, it's a user code field. So this is a case where Epicor has gone and taken functionality that they've given to users and used it themselves to add an extra little piece of information. No. Click on code type. Click on code
Oh.
type. Yeah, click the button and search. There actually isn't anything there now.
Okay.
Right, so it's just a standard thing, right? So this would actually be, no, you wouldn't even put Detroit here, right? This is a code type, so the code type might be something like exits or country exits or CE,
Okay.
right? And then the codes within that
know.
is Detroit and, right? So I haven't talked about user codes at all yet.
Right.
User codes are just customizable sets of data that you can set, and you can pull from drop-down menus and stuff like that. Right. So, for example, some people use there's a color attribute in there's a color section in a part,
Yep.
and they'll create a user code called color with a bunch of different names of colors. That way, when they create a drop-down box,
Right.
it forces the drop-down to select one of those colors rather than typing it out.
Okay.
So the closest one is that way. Right. Okay, so that's good there. Let's go to the. Let's go to the attributes tab. Right, so if this is a customer with a certain attribute, you can set those attributes here.
Okay.
And you can set certain certifications that they have or anything like that you want to set. Right now, the attributes are only being used for your suppliers.
Okay.
Right? Is it a resin supplier? Is it a packaging supplier? Is it a services supplier?
Right.
That's what it's for right now. And it's the same list for customers and suppliers.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just trying to think of what else we want to load right now on this one. I think that's what we want to load for now. I think we should build the DMTs for what we just did.
Okay.
So we have those done. And then come back to here. We'll do a ship to and we'll do customer contact as well.
Okay. So close it out.
No, don't close
Oh.
it. Just cancel. Hit save.